Well, now, Sumit, honestly, I feel like now you just made it worse. Hey my beautiful peeps, my name is Char and welcome to Char TV. For my existing subscribers, I appreciate you coming on back. You guys are amazing. And if you're new and seeing me for the first time, well, I hope you enjoy your stay enough that you decide to stick around. Basically, I'm just somebody that's obsessed with 90 Day Fiance, so what I do on this channel is recap the current episode. I do realize it may be hard to sit through an entire video. That's why I do have timestamps so you can find your favorite couple and find out the tea. Before I start with the recap, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you. You really are beautiful peeps in a sense that you leave me the most funny comments. Some of them I just cackle over for a few minutes because they're so hilarious. I get comments with, you know, positivity telling me to keep on going because this is a new channel and we're growing really fast, and I appreciate you for helping my channel grow. So what I want to do, I'm gonna make it a little bit more interesting for you. What I'm going to do, because I get a lot of comments and I will always try my best to reply to them or at least heart them because you took your time to leave me a comment. So what I'm going to do is find, you know, a few comments. I'm going to pin them to the top of the video and then I will shout you out in my recap videos and show a screenshot of the comment as well. Gotta have a little bit of fun on this channel. Without further ado, enough with the rambling. Let's go ahead and start with episode 12, which is called Cold Feet, and you will find out why. I'm going to start with Corey and Evelin. Now that Evelin has agreed to a wedding, they've actually set a wedding date, and that wedding date is actually a few months later than the original wedding date. They're on their way to see a wedding planner, and Evelin has actually put Corey as the lead for planning the wedding, as she feels it's important for him to do so. Evelin feels that the meaning of this wedding is to show that she gave Corey another chance publicly. But she's in a right stank mood on the way to the wedding planner, and the reason being is because she actually had a dream about the Jenny. Those were her words. She had a dream, and in this dream, Jenny was telling her how Corey is the one. And then once she heard that, she started slapping Jenny and slapping Jenny. Poor Corey feels that, man, I can't do anything right. Even in her dreams, she's mad at me. Recently, she's been having a lot of dreams about the Jenny, and when she wakes up, she's just really mad. She is trying her best to get over the whole Jenny situation, but at the same time, she is human, so she is going to get upset. Evelin mentioned that she doesn't want anybody that follows a religion to be the officiant for the wedding. She wants just a regular schmegular person. Corey doesn't believe in that because both of the families have their beliefs in God and religion, so he would prefer to have somebody that follows a religion to be the officiant. But Evelin feels like in her eyes, if you have someone that's religious perform the ceremony, then the wedding is forever. It's till death. And Corey's like, well, isn't that the whole point of getting married? It's forever.
To me, it sounds like, okay, great, I can have this wedding, but at any point, I can just divorce Corey because it's not through God.
You get married when your relationship is at the best time. And I feel like we did that at first time. But right now, it's just like trying to fix a big hole. And we're trying to fix it with, like, I don't know, a very cheap tape.
Corey mentions it's like you're assuming that a divorce is going to happen. And she said, well, you know, if you're a good husband, then divorce will not happen. The things are now on track after meeting with the wedding planner. It's a few weeks before the wedding. Evelin is still a bit hesitant on the wedding, but she is excited at the same time and is back on track with the wedding planning, which probably isn't much because Corey's doing it all. But they do need to sort out this whole officiant thing.
Know that if we get married through Evelin's church, Evelin will also take it more seriously.
I don't want to get married through religion if our marriage is going to end up on divorce, Corey.
You're saying it's going to end in divorce. Like, why would you even say that?
I'm not saying it's going to end it on divorce. I say if we get divorce.
You're like putting it out there. Like, it's a possibility.
I'm just being honest with you, okay?
He mentioned to her he doesn't want to get a divorce. And she says, well, nor does she. But she wants to be prepared if things get that bad. This whole chat about the efficient is really making Corey uneasy. And Evelin does sense that. She apologizes and realizes that she needs to kind of be a bit nicer to him and find a better way to express herself. And she says that it's not going to happen anymore. I bet you it does. Then this is super weird. She says that she wants her sister Leslie to be the officiant. Corey doesn't feel that it makes sense, and to be quite honest, nor do I, because Leslie is not for the relationship. She can't stand Corey, so why would you have somebody that doesn't respect or like you perform your wedding ceremony? But Evelin feels that it will be a cool idea, and it would have more meaning than someone that's a stranger perform the wedding.
I think it should be somebody who respects both of us, because she doesn't want us to be together. Like, that cannot be more clear.
That's on you, because she has seen all the stupid things that you have done. They have hurt me. She's a protected sister. I will do that. I will be worse if I saw the boyfriend of her doing what you've been doing. That guy would probably murder already.
Evelin mentioned, I didn't want to get engaged. We got engaged. I didn't want to get married. They got married a while back. And now she's agreeing to have a public wedding. So this is the one thing that Corey should be doing for her. Corey's really not on board with this whole Leslie thing, but you know what? He feels like he needs to, let her have this one, because he's even lucky that she's agreeing to have this public wedding. He is worried though that Leslie's gonna take this whole thing as a joke, and that at the altar, she might even say something that's inappropriate. Making her the officiant would give her a lot of power, and Corey, he's uneasy about how she's going to use her power. That's pretty much it with Corey and Evelin. I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out, as she will get her way of having her sister as the officiant. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to Ellie and Victor. Victor is feeling a bit more positive after having the chat with Ellie. So he wants to take her to the place where he was when the hurricane passed, because he feels like that would bring them closer, and that she will understand what he went through, and quite frankly, what he's still going through.
There was like a ceiling here. When the roof went off, the water started to drip inside here. The ceiling started to come down. We don't know what to do. My mom's and my sister wanted to run out. You can see this door here.
Yeah.
We had a mattress in front of the glass door and explored inside here.
Now, Ellie was actually told a few details, but not to this extent. She didn't realize how traumatizing surviving this hurricane was, because she didn't hear all of the details. And quite frankly, hearing all the details made it feel even more real. She realizes it must have been scary, because you don't have control over a hurricane. You just have to try and survive.
I'm gonna show you like the spot that saved our life. This is the spot, and there is a space here. So just imagine. My sister was sitting here, I was sitting there, the two kids was here, and my mom, she was in this corner here.
And the dog too, right?
The dog also. We had the dog here.
Ellie can see how him reliving those moments was affecting him, and it actually was starting to break her heart. She doesn't know how she can actually help Victor, as what he went through was quite a traumatic experience. Victor admits that, he might not be the best person to be around, because he's still not over experienced. It's only been 2 weeks or so since the hurricane passed. Ellie is understanding of this and realizes that she needs to be more sensitive to his situation, more understanding and not to take things quite personal if he lashes out, because she doesn't want to add more stress to an already stressful situation. Things are coming along with rebuilding the house, but they don't have enough supplies, so they do need to go back to San Andreas and grab what they need and maybe go back to the island for good.
I've been thinking about like proposing to Ellie from a long time on the beach that we met. Ellie and I used to talk about like getting married and having a kid so we can give Allegra, my daughter, a little brother or a sister. But then the pandemic hit and then we never talk about that anymore. I'm just waiting on the right moment to bring it up again.
Victor then decides to ask her a question. He says, "Are you ready to have a kid with me?" Ellie said she will try, but you know, the older you get, the harder it is to become pregnant. She then mentions to him, well, have you thought about the logistics? I mean, there's not enough room at the moment for another person. Have you thought about the cost of building another room for a baby? Also the cost in general, because babies are not cheap. It's a lot of money to raise a child. Victor agrees, yeah, it is expensive, but if they work hard, you know, eventually build up their bar, make money, then they'll be fine. Ellie is concerned though, because she's like, well, when is tourism gonna come back? I mean, people are not gonna be traveling to Providencia for a while. The island was destroyed, so I understand her concern.
Who was sending you money? I was, because you couldn't make any money from tourism.
Exactly. Thank you for that. You didn't only send me money for me to eat or live. You know, you sending me money for us to build this project, and you're gonna get back your money from that.
You always get so defensive
when
I
you just like
ask like normal questions that every normal adult would ask.
He thinks she actually has a problem when it comes to money, because that's all she thinks about. She's always complaining about, oh, how much is this gonna cost? Oh, this is so expensive. But at the same time, she's paying for everything. So of course she's gonna be concerned with costs of things. He says that money isn't everything.
So,
okay, if it's not everything, I'll stop giving you money.
You don't have to give me money. You don't have to give me any money. I can work and get my own money.
Really? Because that's not what you...
I can work and get my own money. I can play my music and make my own money. Before I met you, I survived. Don't feel like I'm here right now today because of you. You don't even give me that quite a lot of money either. So
really, you want to add it up? It's quite a lot.
He just walks off. He doesn't want to deal with it anymore. Ellie is like, I don't know why he has to be such a jerk. That's pretty much it with Ellie and Victor. I'm curious to see how things are going to go, because last time they said they weren't gonna squabble so much, and now they're back to the squabbling. So let's see what happens. On to Ari and Binny. Ari and Binny got into a huge fight when she confronted him about the things that he was doing while she was in America. And at this point, she doesn't feel that there's any hope for the relationship. She's feeling quite tired, so she decides to take a nap. And while she's napping, Janice, her mom, and Binny will go down to the beach so that they can have a little chat and also see the town. Janice hired an interpreter just to make sure that they can understand each other. She wants to know what's going on in Binny's mind, because she also sees that he's changed, and she wants to know why he's changed and if there's a future for them. Binny's actually happy to chat with Janice because he feels like when Ari is in the mix, he can't get a word in edgewise. She's always cutting him off, so he can't really express himself. So he's actually happy to chat with Janice without Ari being present. Janice explains that for almost 2 months, her and her husband were actually quite nervous because Ari was crying all the time, fighting on the phone, so they were concerned for their daughter. She even mentioned that her herself received messages from family members. She didn't mention who, but she received messages, you know, saying that Binny was having pretty much a house full of people, random women, and it was like a crazy party house. Now I have a pretty good idea of who the family member may be. According to Binny, the place place was just turned into a studio, and Ari was becoming depressed because she didn't understand why the people were coming in and out of their house. She didn't really know what was going on and what was happening. Janice has a question for him. You know it's juicy whenever you see this cup.
Did you cheat on Ari?
No.
I just had to ask.
No, that's what she's thinking, but no, it's not, it is not like that. Absolutely, it is not like that.
So there's not another girl in your life?
If I have another girl, why I'm coming here? Like,
yes,
just like something
that's the question.
Janice actually believes him based on the visual clues that he was giving. She's relieved that he said no to cheating, and his eyes also confirmed no too. I know I saw a lot of comments in the sneak peek that I had, so I'm curious if you're new here and didn't see that video, what do you think about that? Do you think he was cheating, or do you think no? Binny has lied to Ari a lot in the past because he doesn't want to cause any problems. He's been to friends' houses before, and he knows that Ari wouldn't approve of some of those friends, so instead of telling her the truth, he lies about his whereabouts. It's easier to do that rather than fight with her. Janice advised that it's better to tell her the truth, and actually Binny wishes that he never lied to her.
ከጭቅጭቅ ለማራቅ ያደረኩት ነገር ግን ጭራሽ እሷን አሁን እንድጠራጥረኝ አርጋታለሁ እና በጣም አናዶኛል።
Janice advised whenever he's going to plan something, tell Ari. Don't tell Wish, don't tell Mimi, don't tell Fraser, tell her first, because what's going to happen is those people are just going to tell her anyway, and then when she finds out, she's just going to say, well, Binny didn't tell me anything, and that's just gonna hurt the relationship. So doing it this way that she's suggesting will actually help him. Binny says it's his dream to be with Ari, and Janice says, well, yeah, she really does love you, and she cried for almost 2 months.
Every family has a problem. Me and Ari, of course, we can fight every time, and then but we love each other. That's why just I'm trying. ጀነስ የተፈጠረውን ነገር ስለነገርኳት እሷ አምናኛለች። ያ ደግሞ ለኔ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። አሪን በጣም ነው ማፈቅ።
Binny loves Ari and will go through great lengths to fix things. Janice is praying that everything is going to work out. She wants the best for her daughter. They arrive back home, and Binny and Janice decide to, just fill Ari in on what happened at the beach.
Talked about the last couple months, what's been going on. I asked Biniyam like a million questions, try to resolve some of the questions I had. What do you think?
Yeah, we did a nice conversation. We're talking about how do we fix it. ከጀኒስ ጋር ሳወራ ጥሩ ሆፕ ነበር.
He wants to have a good relationship with Ari and will do anything that it takes to fix their relationship. Ari asked her mom if she was satisfied with the answers that Binny gave her, and she said yes. And his answers gives her hope that the relationship will actually work out. Janice says that, they need to work on their communication and figure out if they want to go ahead with the relationship. He needs to work on regaining her trust and to be honest with her, because when he's not doing that, it makes things worse. Although the conversation between Binny and her mom was productive, Ari is still feeling a bit unsure, but she does feel good that her mom came away with a positive feeling. They both agree that they need to change themselves, talking to each other in a peaceful manner. It's up to Binny to show the values of the relationship and that he won't make the same mistakes again. I guess time will tell with those two. That's pretty much all with Ari and Binny. I'm curious with these guys to see how everything will pan out. On to Jenny and Sumit. Jenny and Sumit are on their way to speak with the astrologer to find out which day would be best suited for them to get married. In India, it's very common to see how the stars align before getting married. Sumit hopes that everything will align because they've been waiting quite some time to get married. They fill him in on what happened with the parents, you know, that they're accepting of the relationship, but do not give their blessing for the wedding. There are seasonal changes because of the Earth's rotation and the moon changes rapidly. So he breaks it down for them.
You can get married, no big deal. Go ahead.
I feel so much relief. Like, I don't know.
This is amazing.
Yes, this is amazing.
Okay, amazing part 2 now. Yeah, as per the stars, you can get married after 9 days from now.
So there you have it, folks. They can go on and get married. There's no more excuses. He did advise that they should not get married in a temple and that they should do the wedding at a courthouse, because if they go ahead and do it at a temple, the marriage is not going to work out. They're also gonna have to cut back on celebrations, any festivities, and just limit it pretty much to the 2 of them. If they do that, everything is gonna be okay. Sumit is actually starting to feel quite nervous and get cold feet because things are moving very quickly. Jenny, on the other hand, is very excited because she's been waiting for this moment. She actually wants to get married on the 10th day at the courthouse. She wants to do it as quickly as possible so that Sumit's parents cannot stop the wedding. And also because you never know what else could happen. So she wants to do it as quickly as possible. Now Jenny says to him, "Am I pressuring you? Do you feel pressured?"
I mean, you want this also like I do. Same.
Yeah, as I said, like, I love you. I know you love me. We both are in love that we want to stay together, be together. But I feel like I'm nervous because the time which I spent in my last marriage and the time I spent fighting for divorce was very bad. Like, it was very hard for me. Like,
Jenny knows that he's feeling scared and tells him it's quite normal to feel that way, but everything is going to be fine. Sumit says they have fought for so many years for this very moment. He's been through so much with his divorce, and now that the time is actually here, he's scared. Because at the same time, sometimes Jenny gets mad and says, "Oh, I'm going back to America," and he doesn't want to lose her. He doesn't want any part of a marriage like that. Jenny does understand what he went through, and it actually broke her heart to see him going through that.
divorce changed me as a person I was before, and now it's like there's a big difference. So right now
What's happening, baby? Okay.
She reassures him that, "Hey, I love you. I ain't going nowhere." Well, I think we know that. You've been sticking around for donkey's years, so we know you ain't going anywhere. And that he shouldn't worry or have any doubt. Jenny and Sumit are on their way now to the marriage lawyer. It's actually the marriage lawyer that they met last year. They want to get things rolling again before the stars and the planets start to realign again. Now it's interesting because the lawyer mentioned before that they would have to get married at temple. Now we know that the astrologer said, you need to get married at a courthouse. Things are going to be a little bit tricky.
I understand a little superstition. In that situation, Special Marriage Act is the only way out.
Okay.
There is a drastic difference. This is a marriage through registration, not a registration of marriage.
okay.
We'll make an application. You have to provide certain documents. As a foreign national is involved, there is a scrutiny.
Because of the Special Marriage Act, it's going to take about 30 days. This makes Jenny extremely nervous because she doesn't trust that, Sumit's parents won't try to stop the wedding. They could just change their minds. There could be issues with the visa as well, so she's very worried. They decide to file the application. Sumit is very, very nervous because he was under the impression that they were just there to gain some information, and now they're filling out dang applications to get married. He didn't sign up for that. He just wanted some information.
I'm telling myself to stay calm. I did everything to to bring this day. And now it's happening, so don't get nervous. At the same point of time, I'm panicking too. I feel like that I'm on a speeding train and I cannot jump out of it.
Process has commenced.
Jenny feels relieved that they're finally getting somewhere after waiting for so many years. Now, because Sumit is feeling stressed and scared and nervous and all of that, he decides to speak to his good friend Niraj. He fills him in on what's going on, you know, he's nervous with the wedding. Niraj reminds him that, hey, you've gone through a lot. So much to be able to get married. And actually, Jenny's been through worse. She gave up her family, her life back in America, her friends, everything to come here and be with you. And not only that, she's been having to deal with the issues with their parents too. And one of the reasons Sumit is having reservations with getting married is because things are going great with him and Jenny right now. And he doesn't want to ruin the moment. They're very happy as they are right now.
I didn't know my wife before we got married, but it's been told to me that she's very kind and sweet. But it was not like that. Once I was married, my ex-wife wanted to change a lot of things about me in my daily life, like my work, my behavior, my habits. I'm worried that after marriage, Jenny will also become domineering.
Niraj reminds him that, hey, you're in love, remember that, and you have nothing to worry about. And he's a little bit confused because Sumit will say one thing, and in the same breath, he'll say something else. So, I mean, which one is it, my guy? Like, pick a side. Pick a side. Now, Niraj can see that something is on his mind. Sumit is hiding something. I'm getting my cup again.
We fill up the form for the marriage. And he said, no problem, I can file it right now. Like, I was not ready for the filing first. When we just done with the meeting at night, I just called a lawyer. I asked him to hold, don't file for the marriage.
Does Jenny know about it?
No, he don't know about it.
Sumit said he didn't tell Jenny about the hold because he didn't want to hurt her, because he knows that she wanted to get married as soon as possible. Well, now Sumit, honestly, I feel like now you just made it worse. Niraj said, you know, I'm always going to be here for you, but you need to go and speak to Jenny. Sumit does agree, but he's scared on how she's going to handle the news and does not know how she'll react. I could tell you how she might react. She might throw another chair at you. Oh my goodness. That's everything to my recap. I cannot wait to see when Sumit tells Jenny that he put that application on hold. Woo, that is not gonna go down very well. I can just feel it. I don't know if you guys can too, but I can just feel it. I'm telling you. Overall, I am happy with this episode. I enjoyed it, and I hope that, you know, we get to see if Ellie and Victor continue to bicker, or if they're just gonna work on, you know, rebuilding their house. And let's see if Evelin gets her way of having her sister be the officiant. That's weird, I'm sorry. Y'all might not agree, but I think that's a little strange. But anyhow, hopefully Ari and Binny can get on the right track as well. Let me know your thoughts on this recap. You know, if you relied on little old me to give you the juice, or if you saw it yourself. I'd like to hear from you. As I said, I will be pinning some comments. Give y'all a shout out because you guys rock. I swear. You guys are awesome, and that's why you're my beautiful peeps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!